Comrades, you are here after heavy vetting on YouTube because this is a top secret edition of the Chew, where we feature the recipes of my homeland, in my mind, Russia. A match made in heaven or Helsinki, depending on how we want you to think. So stay tuned to Chewcoughski. What else? Oh, as we like to say in Russia, the greasy wheel gets the skids. Inside this Russian doll, we have something quite adorable. More dolls. Or is there something else? See here. Our first inaugural Chew Bell Peace Prize goes to none other than Donald J. Trump for giving in to all of Vladimir Putin's demands. US and Russia are closer than ever, comrades. And in fact, when Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin first met, they established the recipes with the ingredients for peace. Let's get into it now. The Black Russian, where you may think that there are many blacks in Russia because they made a drink, but nobody likes the Black Russian drink. So it might have something to do with the population being 0.013 of 140 million some people in Russia, which happens to be the biggest landmass in the world. All reasons we like Russia. They have very many white people and lots of land with lots of precious resources like oil, similar to Canada, which we don't like anymore. They're not nice anymore. But in Russia, we love Vladimir Putin, and we're going to make a special drink in his honor now. We take some vodka, pour it right in, and we take some coffee liqueur. In this case, it might be Kahlua. Then you take real whipping cream, and you add that. And then you know what to do. Turning that Black Russian into a more palatable White Russian. No one likes the Black Russians. And that's why we add the heavy white cream to make the Black Russian more appealing to everyone. Black Russians become White Russians and become happy Russians. Yeah. Now we take the disorganized mess and we put it back in a glass. Nostrovia. Not bad with the cream. Much better with the white cream and the Black Russian. We are starting with prime beef, in this case tenderloin. They're tenderloin tips. Tenderloin tips. So as you take the tenderloin tips, you want to get the bigger pieces of fat off of that using a paring knife. Pieces of tenderloin, great again. Then, as we are the piece maker, this beef stroganoff tastes best when you take all that fat out. Cut the fat out of the budget. That's right. You can still afford some prime beef when you do it this way, the Chew way, on the Chewcoughski. I've already done this to about a pound of tenderloin tips, and we're just gonna move to frying those up right now with some shallots. You must have some shallots in this dish, because if you don't, we are watching. We will be able to see that you didn't add the shallots. It don't matter whether you could afford the shallots or not. Do it. Steal some. Whatever it takes. Get shallots. So, we already have some chopped up already with some garlic. A lot of garlic, I might add. And now we take that and we start to fry that with some butter at this time. A little chunk of fresh made butter from the farm. From arms to the farm. We like to have these things. Lovely dish we are making, beef stroganoff. And as that happens, we will try to throw in some beef. The beef stroganoff. I've actually thrown in some Montreal seasoning too, to give it a little more American flair to just our Russian dish. We're gonna add some hefty teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. And my favorite invention of all, non appears, balsamic glaze. Look at the beautiful glaze. That is going to add a flavor of supremacy to that beef stroganoff we love so much in Russia, with our beet salad and our borscht and our bullshit. Salt and pepper from the salt mines of Russia and the pepper mills of Perkinsky. As the stroganoff gets to the point where it is cooking, almost cooked through, you must add the mushrooms. These are mushrooms imported from America. American mushrooms. Look how many we can add at one time. They've been washed and purified. Beautiful mushrooms. Comrades, we now add the sour cream. Is crucial to the whole recipe. You just stir it, no more than half a cup, maybe a little more. You mix that in. You can add more if you want. Now we make the beet salad. This is made with various beets and carrots, as you see. We got white, yellowish, and pink beets. These are beets that will go in our salad. They've been boiled and sliced and everything nice. We're going to mix those with a vinaigrette in just a moment here. This is a vinaigrette I've made with honey, ground mustard from Russia. We've taken shallots, we've taken oil, and some red wine vinegar. All these things mixed together, we put now in the beet salad. You will like, enjoy, watch. As we shook up, now we shake it onto the beet salad. What could make this beet salad better? What more can we put in this beet salad? I'll give you a beet salad idea. We put in pistachios. That'd be good in this beet salad. Pistachios, whatever you're comfortable with. Some goat cheese. We take some goat cheese. We have goats in Russia, or they have goats in Russia. That we could make good beet salad. Add that to the whole mix. Now I must use a spoon. Now we mix the beet salad and the dressing, the pistachios. We have the goat cheese. We have everything we need. Goat's cheese. No goat meat this time. You're not in season. So now that all be good together. We serve that with our main course. Let's see how that's doing now. You see, the Chew kitchen for Chewcoughski is looking good for our beef stroganoff. You heard the story of beef stroganoff. Donald Trump and President Vladimir Putin, they met while making stroganoff together. They were having competition. Who make the best stroganoff? And Donald, he learned how to make masterful stroganoff with Vladimir. Yes, this is a recipe that includes the approval of Steve Witkoff. He said, just put in ingredients that you think will be good, and don't worry, we will make it better for you later. Just say we make good peace. When you have good recipes, you take them over with care, you will be able to take over countries. I swear. Now we look and see if our noodles are done. They're fogging up my glasses. They make my hat wilt. And our noodles are just about done now. And in honor of this unity between our two nations, Russia and the United States, we can pay tribute to our nation's leaders. Like, we can think of Trump as the stroganoff and Putin's kartushka. Kartushka. That may loosely translate to Putin's balls. And we put that next to Trump's stroganoff and you have a marriage made in heaven. Except in your stomach. They'll probably give you indigestion. But that's okay. And we put them together. And we have a wonderfully humbling dish. And we begin with a stick of butter melted. A bunch of cookies. You take cookies that are neutral in flavor. You take a whole box of cookies. We have plenty of cookies into a very small powdery and some chunks still in. And we're going to add a tablespoon of butter. We buttered Putin's balls nicely. Now we'll put some milk on his balls. Condensed milk. This is about 3.75, I'd say roughly, of sweetened condensed milk. We drop that in beautifully. We stir that all in to Putin's balls. We add this creamy mixture. It's going to go great with the stroganoff. Trust me on this. Secretly blended about 2 ounces of hazelnuts. Hazelnuts that make these balls very robust and flavorful. A nutty flavor in the balls that are very tasty. Ready to shape them into balls. Balls you don't even need to bake. This is the dessert you can refrigerate. President Trump calls these Putin balls of joy. His stroganoff is amazing when you put it next to Putin's balls. It accentuates wonderful with some Georgia wine. Now, we're going to take in some cocoa powder. Add that cocoa powder on the balls. Cocoa powder tastes good on balls. We mix the cocoa powder in the balls. We've saved some cocoa powder on the side so we can sprinkle it on top of the kartushka balls. Putin's balls. Now, we take a scooper and we make some very nice balls. We want to make enough to make sure that the entire world is satisfied. We want balls for everyone. Big balls, small balls, everyone's balls. Big ballroom in the United States White House now, where diplomats can finally come and enjoy things in splendor in a much bigger ballroom where many more of them can fit and pay for their seat, of course. Yes, we make plenty balls, one for every nation. They look like sausage balls or meatballs in a way. Is this really a treat? Is this what they like in Russia? For a treat? Also add Grand Marnier to the balls if you want. I forgot. It's an orange flavor. Just 2 tablespoons. That's all you need. Grand Marnier. Add some extra orange flavor. But now, we'll now cover the balls in chocolate cocoa powder. That is perfection to be had. In balls and we put them in the refrigerator to get them chilled. That makes them taste great. This is an extraordinary garlic bread, very simple. We just took an everyday average loaf of bread, 3 scoops, 3 dollops of butter. I'm gonna sprinkle some coarsely chopped garlic on this. Oh, this is going to be strong, but it will be a nice offsetting flavor to your beef stroganoff. And now, as I said before, I take the balsamic glaze of nonas like no others. This makes your garlic bread and so many other things more worthwhile. And watch, it's a beautiful overall swirl on the bread. Now, we take some of the leftover shallots. We'll sprinkle them on there too. And there, garlic and shallots are all together. Some fresh grated Parmesan in the Russian Valley. And that will be our toasted garlic bread in a couple of minutes in the oven. Put down our noodles, a new front, and our future together, US and Russia. Now, we plate up the stroganoff very nicely here. But what else can we put on this? We put some onions now on top. We almost done. I put a little more Mama Nona's. Mama balsamic Nona Piers. I call her Mama Nona. But she balsamic glaze on the dish. Just a few droplets. I'll be right back. Now, let's see if we bring our two nations together. That tastes like a beautiful future together. This garlic bread. Let's not forget the beet salad. Beet salad. Tastes like the homeland. Beef salad. It all goes so together so well. I must say. The White Russian, beef salad, stroganoff, little bread. What more can be said? Cheers to you, America. Kartushka, fresh from the refrigerator. Just gonna top it with a little of the leftover pistachio crumbs. And there you have it. Kartushka. This is Chewcoughski saying goodbye for now. But we'll be watching you and making sure you follow our recipes.